What is going on to you, Leos? So you Leos have the Three of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, and then you have the Eight of Pentacles for you, Leos. So for you, Leos, this is about how a lot of you are essentially establishing your own lane. And what I mean by that is you Leos are choosing to do things by yourselves. You Leos are actually choosing to really break away from, if you have any kind of social groups or anything like that, you're choosing to break away from it, because even though you or even it's not, it doesn't necessarily have to be a social group, but this is really more so about cycles and about getting away from things that you are ultimately, and people specifically, that you are comfortable with. So this is potentially trying to find a new type, dating a new type, breaking away from old cycles, right? Cycles in your life, not necessarily having to particularly have some sort of direct relationship with dating, but just in general, trying out something new. Becoming someone new, right? So as a result of this, the Six of Swords and the Three of Wands right here is about, because you Leos understand that you need a new breakout. You need to do something. You need a change. You need to start reinventing yourself again. And that's another thing too. You Leos being fixed signs, you need to actually start embracing change a lot more, because things are constantly changing, and you have to change along with it. When I say change, I'm talking about adapt along with it. I'm not saying for you to throw out who you are. That's not what I'm talking about, and act brand new and switch up. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about at all. What I am talking about is you Leos being changeable, to where certain things that don't work for you change, but you keep the core of who you actually are. And if the core of you as a Leo is terrible, is bad, change the core of who you are to actually start attracting what and who you want in your life, basically. Because the Six of Swords right here represents physical and mental attraction is not the problem. Part of the problem is you Leos, like I said, you see yourselves a little bit like potatoes. And what I mean when I say potatoes, I'm talking about like unattractive or not being attractive enough. And that's not necessarily the case. It's just that you Leos have to change your perspective, your life. It's a lifestyle change, right? A lot of you Leos essentially have to abandon all the people in your life who really don't. It's not just about bringing value to the table, but are holding you back a little bit. It could be you could belong to this particular group, right? This friendship group or whatever kind of social group, not a political one. I'm talking about just in general, your friends, whatever, fill in the blank. But I'm saying that you may have to break away from them, because you realize that they're stagnated. They're not actually going to go anywhere, not as far as you can, because you Leos want to see how far you can go. A lot of y'all got a little Virgo in y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all like y'all self-improvement as well. And this is just going for anything. This just applies for anything in your life right now. Like, you Leos overall want improvement, overall, universally. And the Three of Wands represents, it's there for you Leos. It's just that you Leos have to be brazen enough, bold enough to actually go about and get it. Truth be told, that's really where it is that a lot of this stuff is stemming from. The Knight of Swords and the Five of Cups. The Knight of Swords right here is about how, and see if it works for you. You know, start small, or I should say, you don't necessarily have to start small, but you can start big if you want. But start by changing one thing, and see how that works for you. You know, terrible friends or friends that are stagnating, stop hanging out with them. It's better for you to be by yourself than to hang out with friends or associates that are stagnating you. Really, you know, I stopped hanging out with the friends that I knew from high school years ago, you know, and when they tried to add me back in 2015 and pull me back, I was just like, nah. I didn't say anything to them. I just ignored them and kept moving, because me and those people ultimately don't really mix like that. We're really frenemies. Really, if I'm really gonna keep it a butt, you know, there was some things that I did where, like I said before, I wasn't necessarily the best friend. There was some things that they did that they wasn't necessarily very good friends. You know, I would go against the group a lot of the times because the things that they said to me, I was really holding on to that. And then not only that too, but they would go against me because they don't, you know what I'm saying, like me, they don't understand my teaching. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they looking at me like I'm an enemy and everything, a little bit, because they want me to lead them and everything like that, because I was the leader or whatever. But at the same time, they don't understand that a leader's only perspective is to teach people how to lead themselves, how to think for themselves, how to do things on their own, how to have a skill. You know, anytime you see a leader who likes leading a little bit too much, you've got a cult of personality. You got a serious problem on your hands, because it's become way more about the power of the leadership position than it is fulfilling what a good wisdom, a good wise leader is supposed to fulfill. A leader is supposed to teach other people, like I said, how to have skills and how to think for themselves, how to be leaders within their own right. You understand what I'm saying? But at this, while at the same, so they could break off and think for themselves, or they can come together and still learn to work as a team. You understand what I'm saying? And they would really have a problem with that. They would really have a problem with me kind of showing them, hey, you know, we not in a gang. you know, I would make myself an outcast, because real talk, I'm a Sigma through and through. It's you know, it's in my veins. Being a Sigma is in my veins. I you know, this is before I knew anything about them personalities. Being a Sigma is in my veins, because that's what I do. I show, if I'm in a leadership position, I show up, I teach people the game, and I let people branch out and do their own thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't hold on to anyone or to anything too tightly. Now why that's so important is because the Knight of Swords and the Five of Cups speaks to how maybe you Leos should start doing the same thing. You need a change. You need to change up your routines, right? Change up your mentality, maybe even. You know, stop thinking that, you know, you Leos are doing something wrong, and maybe you're actually moving in the correct direction that you're supposed to move in, that is actually becoming more you. Because we're all supposed to become ourselves and really understand who we actually are. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. And you know, you Leos, you know, I know a lot of you Leos like music. You know, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I know I got a lot of music heads. Virgos are the zodiac sign of music. Another reason why we're so close to one another on the wheel. But the point that I'm trying to make here with that is, and the Five of Cups and the Ten of Cups don't allow anybody to make it seem like you're on the wrong path. You're not doing what it is that you're supposed to, because A lot of you Leos, y'all don't regret doing this. You Leos don't regret being in a situation where you're by yourself. You embrace being by yourselves now. Because a lot of you Leos know deep down, hanging out with so-called friends or associates or whatever you want to call it, they really are holding you back. And you Leos know that yourselves. But how many times will y'all play it off like y'all didn't know that? That's what I'm saying. So the Empress and the unalive card right here is about how this transformation that a lot of you Leos are going through is not anything small or petty. It's a huge deal. It's a big deal, because this is how you are treating yourself, how other people will treat you, and how other people will not be permitted to disrespect you to that degree. Like, you'll hang out with them, and as soon as they start disrespecting you, right, you trying to see what type of time they on, and when you establish, they just gonna be around you disrespecting you. You Leos just gonna leave quietly, and I don't have anything wrong with that, you know, because you see the bigger picture. Too much time's being wasted, you know. So, and then the Empress too, they're gonna the Empress and the unalive card too. A lot of people are also gonna come at you like with ultimatums, trying to act like, you know, you Leos better move in the way that they say move, otherwise they're gonna lose you. That's a dub. Let's clarify the Empress. Page of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Temperance, Seven of Cups, the Four of Swords. The Page of Cups and the Four of Pentacles, to clarify the Empress. Yeah, let them be in a delusional world. Let them think that they're actually achieving something by trying to waste your time. But it's also saying, don't you Leos waste your time. You're not in a delusion. The Temperance and the Seven of Cups, you're too wise to be in a delusion. You're too aware. So just start practicing a little bit more of what you're thinking, in a sense of start paying attention to how your life can really change for the better. Let me point that out too, for the better. And start acting it out, start giving it a chance. You know, this could also, a big part of that could also be about getting to know way more people and putting yourselves out there. And the Four of Swords represents, you know, and not necessarily just being loyal to somebody where all of this that they doing, you right, as soon as you get to know them, you've only known this person for about 2 weeks and they're already bagging on you. It's lame. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. There's a link in the comment section below called a Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website where there's all the ways to get a personal reading from me. Just in case if you'd like to get a personal reading from me, or you can come through at Kareemspiritworks@yahoo.com.